Hi, I'm back today with Sports Talk with Jansen Harris. This is my 5th episode. And tonight is the game 1 of the NBA Finals between the Heat and the Spurs in a rematch from last year's Finals. We all saw what happened last year with the magical game 6 win with the Heat. And then game 7, it was all she wrote. LeBron James all day with the jumper, Wade put in his work. And the Heat won their second straight NBA Finals. Now, for tonight's game, it should be very interesting. First game is San Antonio. Tony Parker's ankle, that's going to be an issue in my opinion. Because with his ankle hampering him, the pick and roll offense should be slower. And that's what they really need to focus on is how they're going to get in the paint, take advantage of the lack of bigs that the Miami Heat don't have. Chris Anderson, sometimes he's a good story, but against elite competition, don't expect much from him. Haslam, he's proven in the past that he can make things happen, but he is getting older. He is getting slower. Now, Chris Bosh will show up. He will be a factor. He's hungry. He's extra motivated by the comments Tim Duncan made on them. Well, think they're going to win the finals, which is respectfully so. You should think you're going to win when playing in the NBA Finals. Now, I think game 1's going to come down to, at the end of the game, LeBron's ability to get into the paint. They're going to force him to shoot a lot of jumpers like last year, and it did work for part of the series, but I just feel LeBron will be prepared. He'll hit his jump shots. I think Wade, he'll bring his presence, have about 20 points. I think Bosh is going to have a big game. I think he's going to drop about 25 points. And watch out for Shane Battier's three-point shot. He's going to have a lot of open opportunities with the double teaming of LeBron James. Chalmers needs to play better, and I think he will for game 1. I think the Heat are rested, and I expect the Heat to take game 1. 97-94. Now, speaking again on this Kevin Love issue, which everybody's speaking on, a lot of reports are saying he might be going to L.A., New York, but look for Houston. Houston just said they're not picking up Chandler Parsons' option, and that'll free up some cap room. Look for Amar Sheik, the backup center, who is not happy with the team as we speak right now, and Jeremy Lin to both get moved to create that extra space for another max player. Now, they're trying to bring in Kevin Love. There's been reports that maybe Carmelo would be interested, but my best bet is Kevin Love because he can bring the versatile attributes to the team. He can shoot the jumper. He can get in the paint. You see, there's a lot of things he can do. He could rebound. I think it would not be an issue him playing aside Dwight Howard. That would be a great tandem right there to work with. Now, other landing spots, possibly for Minnesota, to trade him. They need to trade him if they want to get something back because he's not re-signing. He wants to go to a contender. Even look for possibly the Heat. Maybe at the end of the season, Dwayne Wade. I know they want to keep him, but Bosh just talks. Maybe Bosh can leave next year. We don't know. The Lakers are always going to be in the mix, but as their roster isn't looking good, they're not appealing. We don't know what we're going to get out of Kobe. We don't know what we're going to get out of Chicago with Derrick Rose's issues. We don't know. So... And with the Knicks, they have a lot to fix right now. A lot of jump shooters, J.R. Smith, Tim Hardaway, they're not getting it done. Is Redmond Felton going to jail or not? We don't know these things. This needs to be answered. These are problems that keep occurring. We don't know. Is Carmelo committed to New York? Like, what are they telling him? Amari Stoudemire's contract's up, thank God, who's highly overpaid. It's just embarrassing. Highly. But, Just watch out for that. I got a lot of reports coming out that the Rockets they're gonna try to make this move happen. Now a trade is the Timberwolves are talking about. They're gonna see how the season plays out, but a trade would be my best bet for them. Now I don't know if they want Amar Sheik or Jeremy Lin. Maybe Parsons. They'll sign him later. After June 30th is the official date. They could possibly sign him later to move him. We don't know the facts right now, but that's a major landing spot. Now, some people want to speculate possibly the Spurs next offseason. That can't happen. If Tim Duncan and the Spurs find a way to win this series, Duncan could say it. This could be it for his legacy. 5 rings. That would do a lot for him. He's already a Hall of Fame, one of the best power forward center combinations to ever play the game. But that'll just add to his legacy, and him retiring would be a need for the big. And you already know Kevin Love, he could play aside Tony Parker, who, he's getting older, but he still could play. Manu Ginobili is a little bit older, but he could still play a little bit. And the future, Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard put in a lot of work. He's a rising star in this league. And with Diaw and Splitter, that could possibly be a smart landing spot for Kevin Love. I know he wants to go to a contender. Obviously, he's never been to the playoffs, and that's just crazy with all the numbers he's put up. Never been to the playoff, averaging 26 a game, 12 rebounds, but has never smelled playoffs at all. So look for him to be moved. Minnesota would be idiotic in their move to let this play out, because he will leave. His agents have said he'll leave. His management, that's just things coming out of his camp. And last to speak on, Richard Schaefer steps down with Golden Boy, and when that happened, Floyd Mayweather parts ways with Golden Boy. He's expressed feelings numerous times. He's only worked with them. He only worked with Golden Boy because Richard Schaefer was part of the mix. He doesn't have a great relationship with Oscar De La Hoya, so in that fact, he's done working with them. So his next fights will just be with Showtime, just a straight Showtime CBS deal with Mayweather Productions, but no longer was Golden Boy, which this takes a major hit because a lot of people think Richard Schaefer was the backbone of that company, and Floyd Mayweather was obviously the head poster boy of the company. He's the cash cow and whatnot. But I mean, we're gonna see what happens. Oscar De La Hoya, there's reports coming out saying that he's trying to work out things with Bob Arum, over there with HBO, so we could possibly get some more inter-promotional company fights, which is needed for boxing to survive. Because there's too many good fights that are not being made at this point, and it's really frustrating as a hardcore boxing fan and as a boxing analyst to just see the possible fights that don't get made because of promotional background issues with these promoters. Because really, the sport will die if people can't step in the middle of this and just make it happen. So expect Oscar De La Hoya to try to fix that up. But for the future of Golden Boy, it's really uncertain right now. I mean, they have a lot of established fighters that still fight for them. Danny Garcia, Amir Khan. But they take a major hit with this Floyd Mayweather thing happening because he is obviously the main attraction, And on HBO, you have Manny Pacquiao, who another main attraction. A lot of people wanted them to fight, and for many years, Golden Boy couldn't get it done. Top Rank couldn't get it done. So that's just another example of how idiotic this interpromotional war is going. Because obviously, you put those two together. Even now, this will generate at least for both payday at least $40 million in Manny Pacquiao's pocket, which he's never eclipsed in his career, making that much. And for Floyd, that obviously north of that, because he's part of the promotional background. He does his own business thing. So just look for hopefully them to clear that situation up, and we'll see what happens. And now speaking game one of the NHL Finals, you saw in overtime the Kings took game one. They're looking good right now. Their speed and they're attacking the goaltenders well. They're staying out of the penalty, and I expect them to take the series in a sweep. I don't have much confidence in the other team, and look for that to happen. But this was my 5th episode with Sports Talk with Jansen. Check out my blogs at the bottom of the page. Y'all go check that out. And remember, you are what you focus on. Good night, America.